Hi everyone, and welcome back to THE student webinars. We are here with Politecnico di Milano, and today Chiara, as well as Zoe, a PolyMe student, will give us a great insight into the MSc program, student life, applications, career services, and why you should study in Milan, as well as much more. We're here for the next hour, so please feel free to ask any questions at the end of the webinar after we have our presentation. And I'm going to hand over to Chiara now to start things off.
Thank you very much, Emilia. Thanks. Thank you guys to be online with us. I'm really glad for about today's event. I'm super happy to have Zoe with us. So thank you very much, Zoe, for taking the time off your classes to be presenting with me today. Well, of course, with no further doubt, I just start informing you about Politecnico di Milano opportunities and educational offer. Of course, we will cover the educational offer at master level, and Zoe will definitely enlighten you about how it is to study here as an American student and some more insights. While I'll give you an overview of the university and about the application procedures in particular. So we talk about the journey here because we really think it's a path. So your journey with Politecnico di Milano starts, I guess, today while you're here with us. And we hope it goes on with your attending Politecnico di Milano, which is a important technical university offering programs in architecture, design, and engineering, and the relevance of its reputation is confirmed by the information you see here on the slides. This is the ranking of the university in different fields of study it teaches, and of course, in the some of the partnerships we have at the moment with important technical universities around Europe and the world. Just to inform you about the quality of teaching and research at Politecnico di Milano, which, by the way, is located in Milan. So the main campuses of the university are in this very dynamic city. Well, if you want to drop in the chat some information about where you are from, so we know something more about our audience, and we can know if you come from a big city, a smaller one, which university you studied at. Just let us know if you feel like. So this session might be a little bit more interactive and informative. Well, about Milan, I would say it has a lot to offer. Sometimes it has too much to offer. It's a very dynamic city, innovative, the hub of economy in Italy, of course, a fashion center. You will find really everything in terms of culture, innovation, technology, and development in Milan. And I'm sure Zoe in a while will confirm so from a student's perspective. And also it's a very well located. So again, I'm not sure where you are from, but if you let us know, we can focus more. But it's a city located in the north of Italy with 3 airports where you can travel from basically very easily to different countries in Europe. You can go by train, you can drive a car and reach very nice spots and by the seaside, in the countryside, on the hills, quickly and easily. I would say it's a great place to study and continue your studies. In particular, the university has 2 campuses, main campuses at Milan, while others are located in smaller cities not far from Milan, which are Lecco, Cremona, Mantova, and Piacenza, where different programs are taught based on the characteristics of the landscape or the areas and so on. So this is a very important information because there is always a very strong connection between the program we teach and where it is offered. I see Zoe nodding a lot, so I just leave floor to you. And I will be happy to hear what you have to say. Again, thank you for your attendance today. And please let us know how it is to be a student here and anything you want to share. Thank you.
Yes. So hello, everyone. I'm Zoe. I'm from the US, actually specifically from Michigan. So I think I can speak a little bit to the sort of vibe of Milan because I did my bachelor's at Purdue University, which is in West Lafayette, Indiana, which was a very, very small town, a bit of a college town. And then we live now in the suburbs of Michigan, so it's very different from Milan. Milan's a much bigger city than what I'm used to, and also having access to the public transportation and everything makes life also look very different. But I chose to study here because I wanted to do this design and engineering master's that the Politecnico offers. Milan is a great city to study design, first of all, because it's a very, there's a lot of things that happen in Milan related to design and also just for studying. And so far, I'm really enjoying my time at Polyme. I've met students from all over the world, which I think is super, super interesting. And I love getting to hear all of their different perspectives and also just feel like I'm in a kind of good location to be able to explore the world and also explore the city itself. So yeah, I can speak, a little bit more about my experience at Polyme in particular. Most of these pictures are things that I did with friends, except for there's one picture of me using SolidWorks to make a mocha pot, which I thought was fun. There's pictures from the left, which was a sort of student organized party that they had on one of the campuses where everybody goes to dance. Then the one in the middle where my friends and I all had a picnic and we all got to bring some foods that are from where we're from. So we have hummus and things and foods from Lebanon, but also food from France. So it was super interesting. Then I have a picture from in the bottom that's from the Lake Como. And then on the right, there's a picture of an event that I went to that was at the Design Week that Milan has every year. And the Design Week is a really cool experience. It's sort of a lot of different small exhibitions that companies and different organizations will do. Some of them are free and you can just kind of go in and see like what the companies are doing or what people are doing and what's being designed right now, which is one of the reasons I say it's such a great city to study this kind of area. And then these are my adventures also just kind of around Italy. I have more pictures from Como and then a couple of pictures from Milan as well, which is me at the Christmas tree lighting ceremony, because I thought that was really fun. I think there's a picture of Florence, and then I have pictures from Bergamo and Torino also, which are two very easy and fun day trips that you can do from Milan. And also, like I mentioned, it's the city's very well connected, so you can get just about wherever you like, I think, in Italy fairly easily. So yeah, it's great just to be able to explore this much. It's amazing.
Thank you, Zoe. Yeah, what we were saying before, like it's really easy to travel and explore, which makes the experience very important, even in personal growth as well, not only academically speaking. I suppose. So you can make connections with people, friends. You can discover the places which has history, which dates back in centuries. So this kind of inputs and information things like when you study in a country which has this kind of situation, well, it's important for the personal growth, the professional growth as well, because I mean, at the end of the day, that's where we aim. If you decide to go on with your studies, how was your was for you to come here to be in a city like Milan and to visit a country so different from where you come from?
I think it was a little scary at first because, I mean, first there's the language difference. So I did study Italian, but it doesn't really prepare you for actually having to speak Italian to Italian people for the first time. It's definitely not the same as in a classroom. So at first I was excited, but also a bit nervous, I think, because I kind of was aware that it was going to be very different from what I was used to, but I don't think you know exactly how different it's going to be until you get there. But I think once I kind of figured out, like found my footing, it's been very amazing just to be able to see all these kinds of things that I feel like I would never have gotten the chance to see if I hadn't chosen to come here and study. It's just been like a good experience, and like I have learned so much and I've grown a lot as a person also. I think you have to be independent in a sort of new way when you leave your country. It's like everybody that I know is across the sea and I kind of have to figure it out on my own. So
and find your community here, because that's
mhm.
also something that happens at Politecnico. Usually students meet in different occasions in class or during the events and you're attending associations and so on, and at the end of the day you have also new friends, new connections, which make the life easier and enjoyable even more.
Mhm. Yeah.
And yeah, that's something we really care about at Politecnico di Milano. So we consider the students as people, I would say, not only as recipients of an education. So the important aspect for us is also they have fun, they are entertained, they are also skilled in other fields. They have the opportunity to learn something which is not 100% related to the master's program they have chosen, but that is different. So maybe they can attend courses of public speaking, or even have the opportunity to do this kind of activities with the staff of the university. So it's not, we are here today, you're not doing something that is related to your academic path. But of course, it gives you the opportunity to develop some other skills. And yeah, we kind of really consider the student in a holistic way, even in the fun part. So you can attend, of course, the races, the sport activities, which are organized, the concerts that take place on campus, also the festivals and the exhibitions, which are organized by Politecnico di Milano together with like the municipality of Milan or other partners and companies. So this is all really a focus of the university. It's not just everything. It's not just studying and that's it. Of course, the structure, the organization of the university might be very different. I think you might maybe spend some words about that. It's a public university with a lot of students, and some services might differ, of course. But we really try to be there for the students as much as we can. I know some students that come from the US sometimes have been studying in smaller universities, so they really have maybe one-to-one even contact with the professors, with the tutors, which is not something that happens here at Politecnico, but we do offer services of tutoring, of well-being, psychological support, tutoring support to the students to really make their efforts worth the experience. And we support the students in studying Italian because, as you mentioned before, knowing Italian might enrich the experience. So we really consider it's important to learn Italian while you are a student of Politecnico di Milano. So we're not talking about knowing Italian before coming or upon application, but develop some skills in Italian during the 2 years of master here. for the reason you see mentioned here on the screen. So make new friends, work in Italy or abroad, but with the knowledge of Italian language, travel, definitely, and maybe, you know, learn something more about Italian culture. Have you attended the courses of Italian at Polimi? How was the service, the experience for you?
Yes, I did it. I think my first semester. So it's an entirely online class, at least the one that I did, and you meet 2 times a week, and are usually like you take a sort of exam at the beginning to gauge your skills. So if you don't know anything, it's okay. You will they'll put you where you need to be, and then they break you into sort of smaller class sizes, and then you meet either 2 times a week during the week for I think 2 hours at a time, and you do mine was a lot of like grammar practice and then reading and then some writing as well. Or you can have a class, I think, on the weekend that's twice as long. But I found it was pretty useful. I think they tried to work in some actual life skills. Like we had a unit, a section that was on writing a letter or an email to someone that you want to ask about like a job application for. So we had to actually practice writing an email of like sending your CV in to apply for a position. So I thought that was actually very useful.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, in general, we didn't really require students to know Italian before coming because it's the programs we offer are in English. There is no need to know Italian, but of course, it makes it easier even for taking care of the bureaucratical aspects which are involved in traveling and moving to a country which is in Europe, and it has some requirements. So it's just a requirement, an exit requirement, we might say, just before graduating. And that's something that's more than 8,000 students do at the moment, because we have the community of our international students is composed by more than 8,000 students coming from really more than 100 countries. So the community is really big. We, of course, try to attract more and more students from talented students, I would say, from selected countries. So, for example, we are here today with students from the US and Canada, North America in general, to inform you about the opportunity, because it might not be known. You might not know that there is a great educational offer in architecture, design, and engineering here at Politecnico di Milano, but luckily students like Zoe and others have started coming here, and so we can spread the word and have you among our students at our university, which is also well renowned for its research levels. So we do have several labs on campus. More than 200 labs, in fact, and 6 large infrastructures, meaning that here a lot of very important innovative projects are developed, and even the companies work inside the campuses of and the labs of Politecnico di Milano because of the technology, which the high level technology which we own here. And of course, in terms of design, we do have a specific area which is dedicated to the labs. Of course, we have fashion design, like as well as like photography and exhibit design and so on, which is open to the students, and they can definitely go and book their place to work inside the labs. I'm sure that for design and engineering, it's a mix. It depends on which courses you select. But yeah, it's the atmosphere in the design field campus is very lively and full of students working in the labs basically all the time. Did you have experience in the labs yourself, Zoe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I have experience in 2 of the labs that are on the design campus. There's the prototyping lab, and then another lab which I cannot remember the name of exactly right now, but it has sort of bigger machines for like cutting materials, and mostly they work with wood. So it's pretty much had everything that we've needed so far throughout the first year for making prototypes and doing what we need to do. I've had a friend that also used one of the I think it would be called the fashion lab as well, and they have access to sewing machines and those kinds of things as well. So it's pretty it's an extensive and exhaustive system for anything that you would need.
Okay, that's great to hear. Yeah, so that's just to let you know, and of course, guys, you can deepen the knowledge and find out more on the website. But just to let you know, that practical part is also involved in the master programs, depending on which one you are selecting, of course. But yeah, the infrastructures are here. And talking about the programs, we offer 3 levels of education: bachelor, master, and PhD. Basically, all of them, all of the levels offer programs in English. At bachelor level, we have 3, but at master and PhD, basically, they are all in English, meaning that you can definitely come here and don't know Italian at the beginning, just learn in English. Here is just an overview of what we offer in terms of subjects and of programs. But again, I suggest you to go on the website to find out more details for each of them. As you can see, also in engineering, the offer is wide and it really covers a lot of topics. Each of these programs has like tracks or specializations. So there's a lot to discover about them. All the master programs last 2 years. They require an application when you want to enter the program, which is online. So it's definitely not hard to fill out. You will need to check the requirements, which are linked to where you studied, where you got or you're getting your bachelor degree. Of course, we need you to know English, but if you come from English-speaking countries, there's no need to do anything because your bachelor was definitely taught in English. And we need you to have a background. So we're talking about master programs or even PhD, if any one of you is interested in PhD programs. And it means that you need to have a background and knowledge of that. And then basically you just need to fill out an online application. I will show you the documents you need to upload, but just again, you can browse on the website for details. Tomorrow, the application will open for September 2025. And of course, we will follow up with an email after the session. The application requires a fee, which depends on where you apply, when you apply, sorry. So if you start, you pay 50 euros if you apply earlier and 150 if you apply later, but then that's again something you will discover in details on the website. This is the application procedure which is required, sorry, the application documents which we require you to upload on your profile. Some of them are mandatory documents and can be easily obtained on the website of the university, of course. So transcripts, the degree or the provisional certificate, the CGPA statements are some documents you can obtain by from the university you studied at, and then of course we need the CV, a portfolio if you want to apply for architecture and design. Some of the programs of architecture and design don't require a portfolio if you have not attended architecture and design field before. So like Zoe, if I'm not wrong, you come from an engineering background, and so you didn't provide any portfolio, right?
No. I did not have one. So.
Yeah, of course, you had no skills for preparing a portfolio back then, so it was not required for you. But make sure you check the requirements of each program, because some programs require you to have a background in design and architecture, and again, the English language proof. In addition to these documents, you can, if you want, upload some others like the GRE, motivation recommendation letters, and course description, but these are just optional documents you can add to your profile. Just to give you an idea about the application calls, because this is something new on this year. So here you see when you can apply for the different programs. So if you want to apply for architecture and design, you have time from the 1st of October until the 30th of January. And the early bird I mentioned before, so when you pay less, is until the 2nd of December. So the application fee will be reduced if you apply earlier. For engineering, the same applies in terms of early bird, while the second period you can apply is from the 13th of January until the 27th of February. And then in case you have any Italian or European nationality, you have another chance on application. Let's say if you want to apply to architecture, design, and engineering, so if you want to select two programs which are in different fields, let's say architecture and engineering, you can do that in the period you see here on the screen. So from the 1st of October until the 2nd of December, and then from the 13th of January until the end of January. So that's quite easy to understand, I guess. Our suggestions, since you're here today, is to collect the document carefully, but as soon as you can, so you have an earlier outcome, of course, and if not bad, you just pay less for your application fee. Some info about the living cost, which is usually something the students are obviously quite interested about. The tuition fees depend on your nationality, let's say. So if you're not European students, the fee is 3,900 euros per year, which is about, I would say, 4,000 something dollars a year, American dollars. And then here, just an idea about the living costs in general. There are some opportunities to have the tuition fees waived by obtaining a scholarship. We offer some scholarships which are called merit-based, and for these you have to apply separately. So you apply for the program and then you apply for the scholarship. In addition to these, there are some other scholarships offered by the governments of Italy, or, for example, by local governments or by commissions like the Fulbright. And I highlighted it here because it's dedicated to students from the US who want to study architecture and design at Politecnico di Milano. We have one available scholarship, and Zoe obtained this scholarship 2 years ago. So the application is open now until, if I'm not wrong, mid-October. So we are here today also to suggest you take this opportunity. Zoe, maybe you can add something about it.
Yes. So I have some information, but basically the Fulbright scholarships in general are open to US citizens. And I think the only requirements really is that you obtain your bachelor's degree before you go and then obtain the scholarship. This particular scholarship is for study at the Politecnico in architecture or design. And this one lasts for 2 years. So it is designed to cover your entire master's program. And the application I think is open now, and you need to submit it by mid-October, but I'm not sure exactly how far everybody that's watching is in their journey. If you are like a junior right now, I started applying, I think, quite far in advance to make sure I had everything like the summer before. And if you're a senior right now looking to graduate, there's still time to submit it. So maybe I would look to see if your school or your university has any kind of program that can assist you, because Purdue had a lot of support for me when I was looking to apply, just to help me figure out where I was going. But it has helped me a lot. Most of the scholarships, if they're for study, will also have something to help you with living expenses. So that is super nice. And it just, it makes it a lot easier to enjoy the city, I think. perhaps that's obvious, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's worth saying, yeah, of course,
Yeah.
because it's really helpful to have this kind of support, and it's a great opportunity. I mean, to go abroad for your studies in the to study the program you want and to be supported financially. It's definitely a good opportunity. So you can, the application for Politecnico di Milano will open tomorrow, and in the same period you can also apply to Fulbright scholarship. On the website of Politecnico di Milano you will find a link to the Fulbright's position open for US students. Yeah, so that's just another information we wanted to share. In addition to, I mean, just to conclude the budget-wise aspects, there are some opportunity to work while you study. So non-European students can work up to 20 hours per week. Sorry, per week while they attend the master programs. That's by law. You can even apply for working with the university in the offices with the professors. It depends on the position, which positions which are open, and you can work up to 200 hours a year in this. So there are several opportunities you can consider for funding your studies or anyway supporting you during your studies here. Yeah, and so in terms, and about working, since we were mentioning working while studying, well, you can definitely count on us also for finding a good job position after graduation, or I would say even before graduating in the field you are studying, because we do have an office here on campus, which is called Career Service. They give support and guidance. They organize some workshops with the companies. The employers come on campus to attend the job fairs, to interview the students, and so on. So these kind of activities are carried out daily, basically, and students can take advantage of this service. We, as a university, we have technical university. We do have a very strong partnership with the companies, great connection with them. On our website, there are a lot of job positions offered to the students in internships or already job positions. As you can see here, the statistics are very interesting. So among our international master students, 91% have a job within 6 months from graduation, and 42% of them are already employed before graduating. They don't even have time to have fun. After graduation, they have to work straight after. But that's a good thing, according to students' opinion, at least, because 91% of our graduates think the university prepared them well for their jobs. So that's really rewarding, and it's worth the effort, I would say. And this is just to go beyond the study opportunities. It's going to be in a while, but the support is there. So if we were talking about, let's say, the journey that starts today for you, well, it will go on until after your graduation. Zoe, I'm not sure you took advantage of the services offered you in terms of career service, because you're still, let's say, in your second year, but
So I haven't a ton yet. I'm starting now because next semester I
yeah.
will do an internship. But so I know about the career fairs, and also I've been using the career service website where you can actually search for internships. And I have also had friends that have gone to meetings with career service to like improve their resume, their CV. So there's if you need assistance with pretty much anything, I think there's something.
Yeah, that's
There's someone
correct.
that can help you. So
yeah, that's correct. They also got support in let's say making the CV perfect, let's say, for a certain job. I mean, they have the competence and skills for this for all our students. Before ended the session and before answering your questions, I would love to, of course, leave you the context, so the website and so on, but also to suggest you, to encourage you to book an appointment with our students ambassadors. We do have this service called Ask a Student, where you can talk to the students who are currently enrolled at the university, ask their questions. It's of course online, and be in contact with them already now before even applying, and continue your conversation throughout your application and then when you arrive. So recently we have organized a welcome week, and during the events, during these weeks, the students who had booked appointments with our ambassadors a year ago arrived and had the opportunity to meet them in person. So that's really something we value a lot. That's why Zoe is here today also to help you solve some of your doubts and answer your questions, give you new insights as a current student of Politecnico di Milano. And yeah, basically we hope you take advantage of this opportunity. So maybe we can just go answer the questions and see what you're curious about.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, both of you. Really interesting insight into, yeah, just the day-to-day at Politecnico. And yeah, we've actually got quite a few questions to get through, so I might get started. So the first question for you guys is, do you have an MSc or a PhD program in occupational health, safety, and environmental engineering at all?
Yeah, we do have a master and PhD on environmental engineering, which again, as I was saying, offers different tracks in the field. So again, yeah, on the website of the university and in the email we send you, you will find the details. But of course, we do have it.
Amazing. And the second question is, how important is it to know, I think you've covered some of this already, but how important is it to know Italian when attending the university? Do you offer language assistance to learn? I think you've covered some of that, but just be good to know if you think how much you need to know ahead of time as well.
Yeah, I think like from the university perspective, we try, again, as I was saying, we offer the language assistance, the language support, and the courses. But I would leave Zoe to answer to the questions in detail.
Mhm. So I think for university things, you don't really need to know Italian at all, but I think for everything else, it helps a lot, even if you just know a little bit. So for the bureaucratic processes, like applying for your residence permit, it helps a lot, even if you speak just a little bit of Italian. But then also, I think just if you want to be a bit more immersed in the experience, I find in my experience that most of the people that I interact with in Italy are very excited, even if you try at all to speak Italian. So I just think it makes everything so much better. And everyone's always really excited if you're able to try and communicate with them in their native language. But yes, with the Italian course, I think there's definitely assistance, and you can find things here. And even just finding someone to practice talking with, I think it helps a lot.
For sure, yeah. I imagine you pick up a lot just as soon as you get there, just having to kind of do the day-to-day activities. But yeah, well, thank you very much, Zoe. And the next question is, unless you had more to talk about in terms of the Italian language lessons.
Yeah, no, I think I might just add that here you have a great resource to learn Italian, which are the other students, the Italian students who will attend the class with, and they are really willing to, I mean, to talk in English, definitely. But you have the opportunity to talk in Italian as well, and learn a language which is not only useful to live here during your experience, but also for your future. If you know an additional language, you have much more opportunity in the on the job market and in general. So that's great advice. I mean, Italian as well as other languages. If you decide to go somewhere else, I mean, they're not here to force you to come to Italy, but just to inform you about the opportunity, and of course, to take advantage of everything you have, the opportunities you find abroad.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. And it's the fact that the university offers like free language courses in Italian's an amazing opportunity.
Yeah.
Myself, I'm trying to learn Italian, and just the price you have to pay privately is ridiculous. So yeah, definitely worth taking advantage of that. And yeah, the next question is, how easy is it to access housing in Milan? Will I gain help when I get there?
Okay. Well, easy is not the right word for that. I mean, finding accommodation might be challenging. So that's why we usually suggest to, as soon as you know you're admitted and you decide you want to come here, it's good to looking for a solution. In terms of support, we do have some services. We have residences, but with limited, of course, number of rooms. But we do have associations which are quite active in helping the students finding accommodation. So it's not easy, but it's doable. I'm Zoe. I mean, maybe you can share your experience.
Yeah, I would recommend using, there are a few websites that Polimi recommends to look for housing that's outside of the residence halls. I think I tried to get a room in the residence hall and they were gone, so I don't think I would count on that. But what I ended up doing for my first time is I booked a residence, I think through Spot a Home, and I wasn't able to go and see it for the first time, but I found that it's very reputable as a site, so the properties are as pictured. And I think for most of us and the people that are here, it's kind of impossible almost to come and see what you're going to rent because we live very far away. But what I was then able to do once I got here, you can get a better sense of what the city is like and where you might actually want to live. So you can do sort of a short-term rental with these websites. You can do short or long term, whatever you need, and you can get here and see what it's like, and then kind of be a bit flexible. But yeah, I don't think easy is a word I would use either, but I think it's just because you're moving to another country, it's definitely going to be hard in that way. But there definitely will be something for you.
Yeah,
You will not
definitely.
be without a house. I promise.
No, yeah, you don't end up. What happens, and if I may add, is that we usually, when a student is admitted, we start like sending information, like support, like about everything they have to take care of after admission, and which include also some suggestions about how to find accommodation in Milan or on the other campuses of the university. So count on us in terms of support in that way. And again, we suggest some websites, some agencies you can trust. You can maybe follow that.
Perfect. Yeah, I'd imagine also with Milan being kind of a bigger city as well, there's a lot of competition for housing. So
Yeah.
for sure. Nice. And this is a question about careers. Is there a lot of opportunities to mingle with future employers? I know you touched on this in the presentation, Chiara.
Yeah, but yeah, I confirm what I said. Like, yes, there are a lot of opportunities. Like, just simply by attending the job fairs, which are organized on campus, you have the opportunity to really even apply for job positions on the spot. So yes, of course, it depends again on the on the course, on the program you decide to attend, because for some positions, some programs have more opportunities and others are more niche, but I would say it's really hard not to find a job position after attending successfully Politecnico di Milano. And even the professors sometimes offer internships and job positions to the talented students, because they have connections and they value this kind of networking. So I mean, I wouldn't doubt about this the success after ending one of our programs here.
Oh yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, and do you find, Zoe, this is a question for you. How have you found living in Europe in general? Are there any kind of funny or interesting cultural differences you've picked up on?
Yes, I think so. So I really like it. I really like the city so far. I guess we can start with trains because I mean, at least where I live in the US, the trains, there's like one train that I can take from Michigan to Chicago, and it takes like the entire day. So it's not very good. But having, maybe if you're from a bigger city in the US, you kind of know what it's like to have access to the metro. But I had never had that before, so that has been very fantastic and amazing. As for cultural things, I think specifically in Italy, everything is, I don't want to say slow as in a bad thing, but it's like taking breaks is it's very important. So the coffee break, which was very strange for me, is that we would sit down and start working in the group, and then we would all get up and take a coffee break. And I was like, we just started. I want to keep working, you know, because I felt like we had just begun, and then but we all wanted to go and take a break. And but it's just like a mindset, I think, of it's like you need to take breaks so that you can stay and remain focused. But I think it's a good thing. Also, coffee culture, everybody drinks multiple coffees a day, which was very different for me. And it's not the same coffee. But I am, so I got used to that a bit. I
Are
think,
there particular
yeah.
rules with coffee in terms of no milk, is it after midday?
Yeah, definitely it's the cappuccino after a certain time. You're not supposed to do it, but I have done it personally. So
Yeah.
you'll be okay. You can kind of do whatever you like. People might look at you a little funny, but
Yeah, there are exceptions for students because they even have coffee like at night or
Yeah.
3 a.m.
They need a lot more
It's
coffee than the regular
yeah.
person.
So
Yeah.
it's definitely an exception. But usually when tourists get a cappuccino with a pizza at noon or even 11:30 a.m., for us it's like weird, but we don't judge. We just say, okay, we
yeah.
understand they're not Italians. That's it.
I think other than coffee related, I find that maybe this is just Milan, but everybody is very, very well dressed. So there is no like going out of my house in my pajamas to go to Walmart, because everybody is dressed like they're going somewhere. At least that's how I feel like they're all ready to go to some kind of fashion event. So I feel like I've had to step up my game a little bit to go to the grocery store. Um, so obviously you can do whatever you're comfortable with, but I feel like when I'm out, everybody is it's a bit of a different kind of thing, I guess. Maybe also because we're not driving, it's like I'm seeing people's outfits more. But I thought that was kind of interesting. But it might be a uniquely Milan kind of fashion design city sort of quirk. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it depends. I think it's perspective. Even I felt the other way around when I moved to Milan from the city where I lived before in Italy, just because I like, oh my God, so relaxed here. I can go to the supermarket very easily dressed and buy on foot. While where I lived before, it was like, yeah, I used to take a car and go like normally dressed. So it's really, but you can do whatever you want in terms of fashion, of course. It's true too, we really see very well dressed people around. what you mentioned about the break, it's I really appreciate. I mean, it's really important, I think, for it's a cultural immersive experience because yeah, it's just a difference in terms
Mhm.
of how we approach the projects, the work, networking in terms like being connected and being friends sometimes is very important for the outcome of the projects we work on in here in Italy. It really happens to even go out together and have dinners, aperitivos together if you're working with a certain group of people on like for a project, and then you extend it to the social life. That's the way it works.
That sounds great to me. Sign me up. Nice. Yeah, there's a few more questions here. Unless so you had more to talk about. I'm sure this could be a whole webinar in
Yes.
itself.
Yes, I think there's just one more that I found personally a little bit jarring is that I find a lot of times in the US, the best thing to do is like you can solve a lot of your problems without talking to a person. It's like there's a lot of online options, but I found more often here in Italy, the best thing to do is actually to go somewhere and speak to a person if you have an issue. I think it's more of a social, personable approach, maybe. But it was a little strange to me. Like sometimes you might not be able to find what you're looking for. And then to me, this was just like, I don't know what to do. Like the info's not on the website, but I can actually go and ask. And maybe this was just like a me being antisocial thing. But I found that this was a little bit different than what I was used to. That it's like you can go and ask questions and it's usually the best way to solve your problems.
Oh, yeah. Well, these are great tips for people that, not just people that want to study, but also just people that want to be traveling in Italy or living. But yeah, really interesting insight. Yeah, so does any school in Milan offer MSc cybersecurity is the next question we have.
Yes, we do. We do. We have these programs in cyber security in collaboration with, well, it's cyber risk strategy and governance in collaboration with the Bocconi University. It's a 2-year master in English, of course. It's taught partially on our campus and partially in Bocconi. And the application procedure is not what we described today. It depends on the Bocconi procedures. So you might, of course, you find the program on our website, but you will have to follow some different rules for applying.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And the next question is, are there any specific deadlines for us to apply? I know that again, Chiara, you touched on that in
Yeah,
your
we
presentation.
can just go back here to like give a clear answer to that. Like this is the application timeline, let's say. Tomorrow the application will open, and depending on which program you want, like which area of studies you want to apply to, you have the timelines, the time frames you see here. Again, we suggest to consider applying in the first periods until the 2nd of December. For the first reason is that you can apply to different programs, linked to different study areas at the same time, and you might have an earlier outcome, and the application fee will be cheaper for you. But all the other periods you see here on the screen are also available.
Perfect. Yeah. And just to note, we will be circulating this presentation after, so these deadlines will be available to everyone.
Yeah.
Nice.
They
And
will be, they are already on the website as well, so you will find also the details already there.
That's perfect. So yeah, just a few more questions here. What kind of, I know that you mentioned Chiara, you mentioned some clubs and social groups. Do you know what types you have on campus? And also, are there any specific sports clubs or facilities people can join?
Yeah, definitely. Well, there are a lot of clubs, and we call them associations, and also some students competition groups which take part to international students competitions. In terms of clubs, there are like really a lot of them linked to um, to engineering or architecture design, so like to link to the programs. Others which are in other fields like theater, music, of course, sport, running, volleyball. If you talk about sport clubs, we do have a lot of championships going on here, and also there are these sports facilities in Milan, Leonardo. The facilities are really nice, and in Milan in general. In Lecco, we do have also sports facilities. On the other campuses, they're just smaller because of the dimension of the cities and the campus, but the options are also available on the smaller cities. Yeah. So you will have a lot to discover about students associations. Usually during the first week, like the orientation week, they are presented to the students, and you can even apply and join there during the welcome week.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, sounds like people have a lot of options, too many options.
And maybe in terms of clubs, we might mention, I'm not sure the student is from the US or like studies in the US, but the concept of clubs might be a little bit different in terms of, because it's not the same as what I know happens on American campuses. But yeah, basically it's a group of students, structured group of students with share the same passion and do things in the field. But I don't know, Zoe, if you have the opportunity to join any associations, or you have anything to share about this, but I think the difference is quite important to highlight.
Yes. I don't have a bunch to add on what clubs are available, but yes, I think the concept of club is not quite the same. When I came, I was kind of looking for clubs like I was used to in the US, but I find here that the clubs are more like, I think what Chiara mentioned is that it's students that share a passion for certain things, and it's usually like a thing that's building towards like some kind of project. So the two that I knew of, there's I think they were two clubs. One was about sailing, which focused a bit more on the actual like design of the boats itself. And then the other was about designing for Formula One. So it wasn't a club in the sense of what I was used to of like I'm trying to think of examples. Like we had like clubs where you could go pet dogs and like chess club, or just like people that had an interest, like video game kind of clubs. And I haven't found a ton of things that are super like that, but there are a lot of different options that are I think they're just focused on different things. It's a little difficult to.
Yeah, there are like associations and competitions which are different, like like they have different structures. But yeah, I mean, you will find a lot of opportunities in this also at Politecnico.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that summarizes most of our questions. I know there's one related to it's quite a general question about what courses you offer for Nigerian students, MSc courses. So
Okay.
I think I'm not sure if you wanted to answer.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's not only for Nigerian students. Like all the programs offered at Politecnico di Milano are open to Italian and international students coming from all over the world. I might just go back here to show the programs. So the engineering and architecture and design programs we offer, just to quickly answer to this question. The only thing I would like to highlight is that usually you need to have the background in the field you want to follow at master level here, because of course the knowledge is a basic requirement. But yeah, this is the educational offer, which is quite wide in architecture, design, and engineering.
Perfect. Yeah, and I'm not sure if anyone has anything else to add, but just conscious of the time that our hour is up. So I want to thank both Zoe and Kiara for their time today and their wonderful presentation. And thank you to everyone in the comments and who's been attending as well, and for your questions.
Yeah.
And just to say as well, we'll be in touch by email with a recording of the session for those that have missed it today, and Politecnico di Milano will be reaching out via email as well. I'm not sure if you guys had anything to add.
Just wanted to thank the audience, thank Zoe for being here today. I hope it was a good and enjoyable session. Thanks, Emilia, for your support. And so, yeah, well, see you in Milan, I hope, next year.
Yeah, I think I'll just say thank you as well. And I'm also here. I don't know if by email or anything, if there's any way to contact me for questions, but I also live here. So if you're here, I think you will find me on the school. So
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
here to help.
Oh, great. Well, thanks so much. And I hope everyone has a good afternoon or evening from wherever they're joining. And yeah, thanks once again.
Thank you. Ciao,
Thank you.
everyone. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao,
Bye,
ciao.
everyone. Bye.